Hello, coin collectors and history enthusiasts. Welcome back to where we explore the world of rare and valuable coins. Today, we're talking about a classic, the 1961 Lincoln penny. This tiny coin has been in circulation for decades, but do you know its real value today? Stick around as we uncover its history, key features, and whether it could be worth more than just a cent. The 1961 Lincoln penny is part of the Lincoln cent series, first introduced in 1909 to honor the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln. This series replaced the Indian head penny and has been in circulation ever since. During this time, America was entering the space age, John F. Kennedy was the new president, and the country was changing fast. Yet, the humble penny remained an essential part of daily transactions. Now, let's take a closer look at the design. The obverse, front, of the 1961 penny features a right-facing portrait of Abraham Lincoln designed by Victor D. Brenner. Above Lincoln's head, you'll see "In God We Trust" with liberty on the left and the year 1961 on the right. If your penny has a small d below the date, it's from the Denver Mint. Now, flip it over, and you'll see the reverse, back, design, which was used from 1909 to 1958, the wheat ears design. The words United States of America are inscribed along with 1 cent, and the Latin motto E pluribus unum at the top. In 1959, this design changed to the Lincoln Memorial, which appears on the 1961 penny we're discussing today. The new reverse was designed by Frank Gasparo, featuring the Lincoln Memorial in Washington, D.C. The 1961 Lincoln penny was produced in massive numbers, meaning it is not considered rare in general. Here are the mintage figures: Philadelphia Mint, no mint mark 753,345,000. Denver Mint, D mint mark 1,753,266,700. That's over 2.5 billion pennies. So, is this coin valuable? If you're looking for valuable 1961 pennies, check for errors. Some rare varieties can fetch big money, including, some Denver minted pennies have a repunched D mint mark, meaning it was stamped twice. These can be worth $10 to $50, depending on condition. Some pennies show slight doubling on Lincoln's face, letters, or numbers. If you spot one, it could be worth $50 to $200 plus depending on the grade. If your penny is 10 to 50% off-center, it can fetch $20 to $100 plus. The more dramatic the error, the higher the value. A small portion of the coin is missing due to an error during minting. These can be worth $10 to $50. So, should you keep or sell your 1961 pennies? If you have a standard circulated coin, it's worth just a cent. However, if you find a high-grade MS-65 red penny, an error coin, or a proof version, you might want to get it graded by PCGS or NGC to increase its value. If you're a collector, it's always great to keep a well-preserved 1961 penny in your collection, especially if it's in brilliant uncirculated condition. And that's a wrap. Now, it's time for you to check your change jars and old collections. You might just have a valuable 1961 Lincoln penny waiting to be discovered. The 1961 Lincoln cent is part of the long-running Lincoln penny series, first introduced in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of President Abraham Lincoln's birth. The coin features Lincoln's portrait on the obverse, making it the first U.S. coin to depict a real historical figure rather than an allegorical design. The year 1961 was a time of major changes in the U.S. John F. Kennedy had just been inaugurated as the 35th President of the United States. The country was entering the space race with the Soviet Union, leading to new technological advancements. Inflation was relatively low, and a penny still had some purchasing power, enough to buy small candies or gum. The Lincoln cent remained an important part of everyday transactions, as Americans still used cash for most purchases. This high mintage means that 1961 pennies are common in circulation, making them generally easy to find, especially in lower grades. Metal composition: 95% copper, 5% tin and zinc. Weight: 3.11 grams. Diameter: 19.05 millimeters. Edge: plain, no reading. Although the Lincoln Memorial penny design continued until 2008, the composition of the coin changed over time. By the early 1980s, the rising cost of copper made it impractical to keep using the 95% copper alloy. In 1982, the U.S. Mint began producing pennies primarily made of zinc with a thin copper coating, which is still in use today. The 1961 penny remains a popular collector's item, especially in higher grades or with mint errors. While common in circulated condition, uncirculated versions or error varieties can be worth much more than face value. The 1976 USA 1 cent Lincoln penny. Have you ever wondered if that old penny in your collection is worth more than just a cent? Well, stick around because we're breaking down its history, design, mintage, and, of course, let's take a trip back to 1976. That year, America was celebrating its bicentennial, 200 years of independence. While quarters, half dollars, and dollar coins featured special bicentennial designs, the 1-cent penny remained unchanged, still carrying the iconic design of Abraham Lincoln. The 1976 Lincoln penny is part of the long-running Lincoln cent series, first introduced in 1909. Designed by Victor David Brenner, it features Lincoln's portrait on the obverse and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse, which was introduced in 1959. Fun fact: the Lincoln Memorial design lasted until 2008, when it was replaced by the shield reverse in 2010. Now, let's talk numbers. The 1976 penny was minted in 3 different locations: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Here's a quick breakdown. These pennies were made of 95% copper and 5% zinc, making them heavier than today's pennies, which switched to a zinc core in 1982. Let me know in the comments if you've ever found a 1976 penny in your change. Now, the big question: what is a circulated 1976 penny worth today? Well, since billions were made, most circulated 1976 pennies are only worth face value, 1 cent. But there's a catch: because of its copper content, these pennies are worth more in metal value. As of today, the copper in a 1976 penny is worth around 2 to 3 cents based on copper prices. That means if you have a bunch of them, they could be worth more than just pocket change. However, remember, melting pennies for their copper is illegal in the US, so collectors and investors hold onto them instead. Want to make some serious money from a 1976 penny? Look out for these valuable errors. If your penny is misaligned, leaving part of the design missing, it can sell for $10 to $100 plus. A small die crack between the letters B and E in Liberty makes it look like an extra letter. These can bring in $5 to $20. Check your change carefully. You never know when you might find one of these rare errors. For those who love pristine coins, let's talk about high-grade and proof versions. So, is the 1976 penny worth keeping? Absolutely. Whether it's for its copper value, potential errors, or collector demand, this coin is still an exciting find. The 1976 Lincoln penny is part of the long-running Lincoln cent series, which began in 1909 to honor the 100th birth anniversary of Abraham Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the year 1976 was a special time in American history, as it marked the country's bicentennial, 200 years of independence from Great Britain. This was a big deal, and the U.S. Mint issued special designs for quarters, half dollars, and dollar coins to celebrate the occasion. However, the 1-cent coin remained unchanged, keeping the same design that had been used since 1959. Features a right-facing portrait of Abraham Lincoln. The word liberty is to the left. The year 1976 is on the right. The motto "In God We Trust" is inscribed above Lincoln's head. Shows the Lincoln Memorial, which was introduced in 1959 to replace the original wheat ears design. The words United States of America appear at the top. The denomination 1 cent is at the bottom. The Latin phrase e pluribus unum, meaning out of many, one, is placed above the Lincoln Memorial. The 1976 penny was made of 95% copper and 5% zinc, weighing 3.11 grams. This was the standard composition for U.S. pennies from 1909 until 1982, when the mint switched to a cheaper zinc core with a thin copper coating due to rising copper prices. While common in circulation, the 1976 penny remains popular among collectors due to its historical significance as a bicentennial year coin and the enduring legacy of Lincoln cents. Higher-grade examples, proof versions, and error coins from 1976 can carry additional value for numismatists. Today, we're diving into the 1988 U.S. 1-cent coin, its history, key features, and most importantly, its circulated value. Could this coin be worth more than a cent? Stick around to find out. The 1988 Lincoln penny is part of the long-running Lincoln cent series, first introduced in 1909 to honor the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln. The obverse, or front, of the coin features Lincoln's bust, designed by Victor David Brenner. Below Lincoln's portrait, you'll find the date 1988 and, if applicable, a small letter D or S indicating the mint where it was produced. The reverse side features the Lincoln Memorial, designed by Frank Gasparo. This design was used from 1959 to 2008 before being replaced with the shield design in 2010. These were proof coins, made only for collectors. Because of these high mintage numbers, the 1988 penny is quite common in circulation. However, there are some special varieties and errors that make certain coins valuable. Now, let's get to the value. In circulated condition, most 1988 pennies are still only worth face value, 1 cent. However, in uncirculated condition, they can sell for a bit more. But wait! Some 1988 pennies can be worth big money if they have rare errors or varieties. Here are the ones to look for. Some 1988 pennies were mistakenly struck with a reverse die meant for the 1989 penny. These are highly collectible and can sell for $20 to $50 or more. Look closely at Liberty or the date. If the letters appear doubled, you may have a rare doubled die penny. If the design is misaligned, it could be worth $10 to $100 based on how off-center it is. Small cracks in the coin's design or raised blobs of metal can increase a penny's value, sometimes reaching $5 to $20 each. Want to find these valuable coins? Here are some quick tips. Search your spare change. You never know what's hiding in your wallet. Check coin rolls from banks. Many rare pennies are still out there waiting to be discovered. Use a magnifying glass. Small details like doubling and mint errors can be hard to spot with the naked eye. Store your finds properly. If you discover a valuable penny, keep it in a protective holder to maintain its condition. The 1988 Lincoln penny is part of the long-running Lincoln cent series, which has been in circulation since 1909. This coin honors the 16th President of the United States, Abraham Lincoln, and has undergone several design changes over the years. The 1988 penny belongs to the Lincoln Memorial Reverse Series, 1959 to 2008, before the Union Shield Reverse was introduced in 2010. The Lincoln cent was first introduced in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. The original design featured Lincoln's portrait on the obverse, front, and 2 wheat stalks on the reverse, known as the wheat penny design. In 1959, to celebrate the 150th anniversary of Lincoln's birth, the Lincoln Memorial design replaced the wheat stalks on the reverse. This change was led by the U.S. Mint's chief engraver Frank Gasparo. The Lincoln Memorial Reverse, 1959 to 2008, features the famous Washington, D.C. monument where Lincoln is seated inside, symbolizing his enduring legacy. By 1988, the U.S. Mint had already switched the penny's composition from 95% copper, pre-1982, to a copper-plated zinc format. This change was due to rising copper prices in the early 1980s, making it too expensive to produce pennies with a high copper content. The Lincoln Memorial, the words United States of America on top, the phrase E pluribus unum above the memorial, the denomination 1 cent below, Philadelphia Mint, no mint mark 6092810000 Denver Mint, D mint mark 5253-74443 San Francisco Mint, S mint mark, proof coins, 3260-948. Because of the high mintage, most 1988 pennies in circulation are still only worth their face value, but some rare varieties and errors can be valuable. Before Lincoln, U.S. coins typically featured allegorical figures like Lady Liberty. The Lincoln cent was the first U.S. coin to feature a real historical figure. The 1988 penny is notable for a design transition error. Some were accidentally struck with the 1989 reverse design, RDV006. These rare error coins can fetch $20 to $50 or more in auctions. The Lincoln Memorial design was eventually retired in 2008 to make way for the 2009 bicentennial Lincoln cents and the 2010 Union Shield penny. The 1988 pen is an interesting part of U.S. coin history. While most examples are only worth a cent, rare varieties and errors can make certain coins valuable. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just getting started, always check your pennies closely. You never know when you might find a rare treasure. So, what do you think? Do you have a valuable 1988 penny hiding in your collection? Let me know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss a coin-related video. Thanks for watching Yamara. See you in the next video. Happy collecting.